From Everybody Studios, we're jumping off the pages of Southpark Magazine as we bring the stories to life that make up the art and soul of Charlotte. This is Southpark Says with Krisha Chachra. Well, pull up, turn it up, and take a seat. If you're a parent searching for things to do with your kids and wondering what you're going to do with them this summer, you better listen up and follow our guest today. She has a motherload of information you don't want to miss. With new episodes dropping the last Thursday of every month, you're listening to episode 15 of Southpark Says with Krisha Chachra. Joining me in Everybody Studios today is Karla Hsu, but you probably recognize her as Charlotte Mama. With over 150,000 followers on social media, she creates curated family guides with travel and activity tips. Karla, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I really appreciate it. We were chatting earlier and we were talking about all the content that you put out. And I have to know just right off the bat, because we'll get into, your background and how you got started. But how did you learn how to do all of this stuff? Like the reels, the content creation? I mean, you're so good at it.
So I think like most people who started in content creation after the pandemic, I was bored with my kids. And so we started venturing out, going to different places. And I guess I just really liked taking photos and taking videos of pretty things.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind
around Charlotte, right?
Well,
Yeah.
so actually I started in Charlottesville, Virginia. We were living in Charlottesville. My husband was working at UVA there.
Okay. Fellow Virginia native, but I'm from Blacksburg, so boo, wahoos.
I know. We love Blacksburg too. My oldest went to Tech, so we love Virginia. We love Virginia. I grew up in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So I grew up here in North Carolina,
Yeah.
but we moved for a job. And I guess the roundabout way is when I moved to Charlotte, I thought, I think that I could do this here and try to find places for people that kind of look like me. Where do they go in Charlotte? Because I kind of was doing my own little, trying to figure out where to go, where to take my kids. And, there's something missing. I really think I could speak to some of the families that look like me. And I just enjoy creating content. Now that it's my job, sometimes it turns into, I have to edit this thing.
Right. And that's
because
a lot.
I have a deadline and all these other things. But when I create content and I'm not working is when I enjoy it the most.
That's when you really, all the creative juices come out then.
Yes.
So you started in Charlottesville in 2020 during the pandemic because you basically were looking for things to do with your two younger kids. You mentioned you have a older son that graduated from Blacksburg, Go Hokies. And so, and when you said you were looking for things to do for families that look like you, what do you mean by that?
So in Charlottesville, it was purely, I wanted to go somewhere that, remember social distancing was like a thing. And,
big
and so
time.
Parks and vineyards and breweries were kind of the only open spaces in Charlottesville that stayed open post-pandemic. Because you could, if you've ever been to Charlottesville, you'll go to a vineyard and it's just basically open seating, lots of fields, and kids just run around. And so that's kind of where we would take the kids, just parks, vineyards, places where we could safely socially distance but not be at home.
Sure, and have a glass of wine.
And have a glass of wine.
Make yourself feel better during the pandemic.
I mean, honestly, us moms, we gave up a lot during the pandemic. A lot of us had to come back home from work. And obviously I haven't worked in a while, or in terms of like, what I did before, which was I worked in nursing before.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. That was another life.
That was another life.
Yes.
That's how I met my husband.
Okay, because he's in medicine.
He's in medicine. He was doing his fellowship. We met at UNC.
Okay.
We love Chapel Hill. And we met while I was on the floor working on the nursing staff of a pediatric oncology unit. And he was doing his fellowship. And that's how we met. I kind of am rambling.
Yeah, but he's a physician.
He's a physician, so he's very specialized in a cancer called sarcoma.
Okay.
And so he does his research in sarcoma. We were at UVA post his fellowship.
Right. And drinking lots of wine at vineyards. And you just started recording.
I just started recording.
Wow.
Yeah. And it took, Charlottesville's just super small. And so I had like 4,000 followers. followers from Charlottesville. And I thought, this is great.
Wow.
And I knew that it was going to take off when Warby Parker came to Charlottesville and said, we would love to pay you to show the store opening.
Oh, wow.
And they presented me a check. And I thought, this is, whoa, for just coming out. And
that's amazing. and whatever amount it was probably really big for you at the time because you were just doing it for free.
I think it was like $500.
Yes. And now, of course.
And they gave me.
You're triple that, I'm sure.
Yeah. They gave me $500 and some sunglasses for like the whole family.
Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with
and
their
I just
sunglasses.
was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That it's opening. And that's when I knew that it could be something, because I wasn't seeking out partnerships. That wasn't something that I was doing. I was just documenting where I was going. And so when we moved to, so my husband, after the pandemic, I think a lot of people kind of reevaluated, what they wanted in their lives. And I think my husband just felt, that we should probably be closer to family. And I agreed. I loved Charlottesville, so it was really hard to leave. It's just a small town feel that has access to like bigger city or just you can get to DC really quickly.
Right.
And so and
it has a lot of amenities and it's
for a college town.
Yeah, it's a highbrow college town, a lot of educated people. And so, but how did you know, how do you think that they found you, first of all? And then how did you get so many followers so quickly?
Oh, in Charlotte?
Yes.
So when we moved to Charlotte, I noticed that there wasn't, the content that was being created was hyper local to South Charlotte.
Okay.
And I wanted to know where I could go everywhere in Charlotte. And I thought, not everybody lives in South Charlotte.
Right.
There's a whole other section of 3/4 of Charlotte that is not being shown on social media.
Yeah, not being represented.
Yeah, and I just thought, I'm Salvadorian. I was like, where can I get a pupusa? I also really like to get my nails done. And so I said, where can I get my nails done? Where are the girlies getting their nails done? And I like spas and, just.
I'm with you, sister.
So I wanted to know where's the best spa experience in Charlotte. So I wanted to make something that was for everyone in Charlotte. And I think that's why it took off, because I wanted to go, I went to Camp North End. I went to all of these, not saying that I was the first person to kind of show off Camp North End, but I visited and I thought, this is such a great space for kids. It should be on, like, people should know that
people should know about it.
That there's art classes and there's diversity here. We went for Broken Crayon as a local artist teacher here in Charlotte. And I kind of came across her content, and she was having free art classes at Camp North End. And I thought, this is amazing. Why doesn't everybody know that there are free art classes for kids in Camp North End on Saturday? All you have to do is register.
Right.
So it's that kind of information that I think people find super valuable. Where can I take my kids? Kind of what I really like about spaces like that is you kind of can just park it. You can get there. You can have coffee. You can have there's a green space there that has these Legos. You can have your coffee. The kids can play Lego. And if you want to stay, especially on a Saturday, sometimes they have music, or, before they used to have these Broken Crayon art classes. So it was like a chunk of time that you didn't have to take the kids and put them back in the car seat, and take them out. Right.
It's it was something for everyone, and also the moms and the parents felt fulfilled while they were there.
Right.
So tell me, you kind of stretched yourself in a way, because you were exploring Charlotte as a newbie in Charlotte. I mean, you've already been recognized by some brands in Charlottesville, Warby Parker, like you talked about, and that you've already been found in that way. But you come down here and then you kind of just explore with your camera rolling, basically. Tell me why you think that there's so many things to do in Charlotte, because I'm sure you discovered that, while you were searching, even post-pandemic. But why do you think that so many people still don't know where to go and do things with their kids?
So at the time, I think it wasn't, I don't know if people were there. I think parents maybe didn't have a reason to venture out. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know.
It was kind of like rediscovering, I guess, after the pandemic.
So for me, part of the reason why I was sharing is I get severe, just anxiety, not knowing what to expect for certain things. I'm one of these people that has to watch like roller coaster videos to see what to
just
expect.
To see where the track is going.
So that's just how I have to see what's there.
Yeah.
And so I just was kind of looking and I was like, where can I get, I felt like the questions that I needed answered were not answered. I wanted to know, like I said, where can I get coffee? Where can my kids play?
Yeah.
So that, because my littlest one, she hated the car seat. And so that was one of those things that it would just, do I not go out today because I know that it's going to be a fight to put her in the car seat? Do I just stay home? And I think about the moms that are maybe also staying at home and are not going out because of their own anxieties or their own fear of like, what's it going to cost? Especially now, like, what's it going to cost for me to do all these things? And if I can provide that to help, ease some of their, anxiety surrounding taking their kids out, I think ultimately it helps their mental health, their well-being. So obviously it's just a video, right?
Yeah.
But like, if it can help somebody else take the step to go out, like, look at all these things that Charlotte has to offer.
Right.
And I think it also helped me with my coping of being here in Charlotte. I told you I didn't want to move to Charlotte. It was kind of a decision that it's a great, obviously we love it here now, but at the time it felt like the end of the world. I had pictured my life there. I had pictured my kids growing up in Charlottesville.
Right.
And so it was an adjustment. And I think I had a good 3 months where I was just sad that I wasn't in Charlottesville anymore. That one day I just said, I'm just going to get up and just find something new to do every day and make it feel like home, because that's just how I cope.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Actually, you were intentional about it. I mean, and that I'm sure a lot of people can relate, because there's hundreds of people that move here every week.
Yes.
And
a day, I think.
A day, like 150 people a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, almost 1,000 people that move here every week. Yeah. And I think that they are also feeling that loss of, where they came from, but also not knowing where to start. So you give them a great launch pad.
I hope so.
Yes. And that's really wonderful that you do that, because I think that, a lot of these things are just not apparent. What are some of the gems that you found while you were exploring?
I think Imaginon is not a gem. Obviously, it's been around forever. But every time I share it, I say there's this free library in Uptown that has a place where you can check out books. They have a play area. They validate your parking for 90 minutes. It is and they do generally, there's an event, there's something going on every day, whether, the library programming at Charlotte Mecklenburg Libraries is phenomenal. When I tell you, like they really do a good job. You could take anything in Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. You could take a Mahjong class. You could print a robot. Like, there's lots of things that you can do. You just have to kind of look for it. And so that's an easy one that I always recommend to families. Imaginon in Uptown. Yeah. And what's great about it is, the light rail is right there. So you're getting a little bit of that city. Like, the kids are like, oh, there's a light rail.
Yeah, and then 7th Street Market, you can pop in, get some food.
Coffee, pizza. Yeah. There's an ice cream shop there now.
Yeah. But you're right. Kids are always fascinated by the trains. They just want to ride it.
my youngest would just sit and look at it. I want to look at the train. And they make it, so that they have like little benches that you can sit there.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy sharing that one. And then pretty much just any space that has like a playground. I like the bowl right now. That's kind of our favorite.
Yeah, with the stream park.
Park is beautiful. There's like walking trails.
Yeah.
And again, the coffee. That's where can I get the coffee in Charlottesville is where can I get the glass of wine, right. And so my kid can run around safely. Obviously, we always had, my husband does not partake in any of that. So he's always our safe driver. But I get comments like that. Oh, you mom, who's taking care of the kids if everybody's,
Really? People make comments like that on your content?
People say all kinds of stuff.
Oh my gosh. I know. I bet you open yourself up to a lot of that.
I've had to be careful in what I say. People are very touchy when I say things. For instance, a restaurant opened in Rock Hill, like a really popular restaurant opened in Rock Hill. It was Cane's, Raising Cane's.
Okay.
And in my voiceover, I said, the first Raising Cane's to the Charlotte area. And that set people off. Rock Hill. I know Rock Hill's not in Charlotte, but also it's just the first one of hopefully many that they're opening up. And that's why I said it.
Yeah, and you were like excited about it. So
people don't realize that South Carolina, if you're in South Charlotte,
it's right there.
It's right if you're in Pineville, it's right there.
10 minutes, not even 10 minutes
it's
away.
It's like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So they were getting upset that you had said greater Charlotte area and they're not in Charlotte. Okay.
I get all kinds of stuff. People get, people get upset. This is not a hidden gem, or not that I say hidden gem. I try not to say hidden gem anymore.
Oh, really?
Unless it's like an actual hidden gem.
Okay.
I feel like I said there's a food court in Pineville that's a hidden gem.
Oh, and they jumped on that
They
wording.
were like, it's been open for 6 months. And I'm like, okay, sorry.
Still,
I won't say it.
There are things there are things that have been around forever. Like you were talking about Imagine On that people still don't know about. So when I'm making content, I ask myself, would a new family in Charlotte find this valuable? Okay, that's a good question.
There are so many families in Charlotte that are moving. Right. And I get it in my DMs. People are like, people are moving from Chicago, Florida. Mm-hmm. I'm moving from Miami. Where can I do, people are moving here from big cities.
And they're looking for things to do.
And they don't know anything. And I don't know if had we moved, so obviously I grew up in Chapel Hill. My family is still in the Triangle. I don't know if I would have needed to cope had we, because my husband basically, we looked everywhere in North Carolina for a job just because we have family here. Yeah. And my sister-in-law is here in Charlotte. And so it was just like a natural place to look.
An easy place to look,
and the Triangle was quickly, Duke and UNC were like, we just hired sarcoma people. Last year, had you come last year, we would have had a spot for you. And so I don't know if I could have looked at the Triangle in the way that I can look at Charlotte, in the sense that, yes, I used to come here for like immigration appointments, but that was 20 years ago in Tyvola, right? Like that we would come from, because that's the closest immigration office.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is in Charlotte. There's over on Tyvola. Okay. And we used to, our processing would happen in Charlotte. So my memories of coming to Charlotte were going to Tyvola. And when my husband said, I really want to move to Charlotte, I said, well, I don't think that this is where, because I just remember that very specific strip in Tyvola being like not where I wanted to raise my kids.
Exactly. And you were just trying to, come here and get your paperwork in line and so you didn't associate it with all the things that were here.
All the things that are here. And so I think it had to be Charlotte in terms of like just me looking at it. Yes, I grew up in North Carolina. It is home, but it is a different city, a different perspective. And I think I just have to assume that there's a mom out there that doesn't know about Imagine On, or doesn't know about the Bowl, or doesn't know about all the places that, I share or go viral. Yeah. Another big thing that the first reel that went viral was a hotel in Charleston.
Oh, wow.
And I remember thinking, oh, well, this is a whole other group of people that are also moving to Charlotte, and they don't know the day trips. Yeah. Right? Like they know.
You do a really great, I think it was like 5-day trips to go to, including Charleston, Wilmington.
That are close,
Asheville.
3 hours.
And I love how you structure it too. You have where to stay, where to eat, what to do. Which is really helpful. It's like all the information is there, one-stop shop. So you do a really good job of packaging it. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why you're very successful and people look to you. So my guest today at Everybody's Studios is Karla Hsu, and you probably know her as Charlotte Mama, one of the more influential people here in Charlotte, telling you what to do with your kids. So you actually have these family guides that you curate, and that include travel tips and also activities. How often do you update those?
Oh my gosh, I'm behind right now, but I try to update them anytime something big is happening.
Okay.
So like if the kids are going to be out of school, if I know the kids are going to be out of school for spring break or winter break,
Okay.
or summer break.
Those transitional times that we're looking for things to do with your kids.
That's when that's when I'm looking for it.
Right.
So how I create content is, what is my pain point?
Yeah.
You know, what am I looking for right now? And then I create the content based on that.
Okay. So, and what is your target audience? When you say your kids, like what are the age range of the kids that you usually recommend activities for? And how old are your kids, by the way?
So I have Key, who just graduated from college, and then I have Isabel, who's 9, and Lillian, who's 6.
Okay, so 9 and 6. So would you say your target audience for kids is that age range, you think?
I mean, I previously, like when I first started making content, it was what they were doing.
Okay.
But now I try to make content for everybody, any age range.
Even preteens?
Preteens and teen. I have preteen and teenage moms that are asking where I can take my kids, because that's as evidenced by some of the stuff that's happening at Birkdale Village and Camp North End. Our teenagers don't have a lot of safe third spaces where they can go and spend time. And so I'm trying to make sure that I can answer those pain points, because those are parents that are also moving to the area.
For sure. Do you have scouts that go out? Are you a one-woman show, or do you have like scouts that go out and say, hey, you got to really think about this place, or you should really include that place?
My audience will sometimes say, hey, I checked out this park recently. Someone sent something about a toddler park in Mint Hill that had just opened. And she's like, you should share this, because there's nobody here, and it's shaded and it's fenced in, which are all the things that you want as a toddler mom. You want shade. You want, especially for the summer months, right? When the kids are home, you want shade. You want it to be fenced in, and you want it to feel like it's maybe not overrun. Like I wouldn't say to a toddler mom, you should go to Stream Park and be there for a really long time.
Yeah, because it's so hot.
Well, it's so hot, and then it slopes off.
Yeah.
You know,
so you look for certain things.
I look for different, one thing that did really well last year was shaded parks.
Oh.
So I think about, okay, what are the things, again, that I'm looking for? I don't want to, my kids want to go out and play, but by 10 o'clock in the summer, if you're not out in the park between 7 or 8 in the morning, by 10 o'clock, it is so hot. And so I think about, where are the best shaded parks? And I go out everywhere.
And you test them. You test them all.
I test everything. That's part of the reason why I'm able to say that it's a curated family guide.
Because you have been there personally, you curated it, and you picked that.
And I say, this is where you should go.
Wonderful.
And I also, I'm not negative on my social media, but if there is something that's not on it, it's because I've said, I've made the decision that I don't think it is worth their time or money. There's a couple, there's just a couple things that I'm like, oh, the cost of this is really high for the amount of time you're in this. I'm not obviously going to say, but for the amount of time that you're in there, it can cost you up to $100 for a family of 4. I don't know if this is like the best use of $100 for a family of 4.
That's good. So you're very discerning about.
I try to be.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how often? So the guide comes out whenever there's like a transition point. Is it something that your subscribers receive, or how do you get it?
So I have a newsletter.
Yeah.
It goes out every Thursday. Every Thursday is when I try to. It's me.
Okay.
I should probably, it's a good question. Should I have scouts? There are other family guides in other cities that have scouts, and they share everything under the sun that's available in that city. And I don't think that that's best served. I mean, maybe in the future.
You like it personal.
Yes.
Yeah. You like it personal because you have the integrity of knowing that, it's something that came from you and you've experienced it. So it's firsthand.
And I own it if it's not a great experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can say there was an event that happened recently, and there was feedback that, there wasn't a food truck or available for the kids. And I specifically said you could come here and have something to eat, food, and so those are the kind of things. And then I give feedback and say, hey, what happened here? What was the disconnect here? And I have a good relationship with most of the marketing people in Charlotte to kind of say, hey, this person had this experience or.
Right. So you can, use that feedback loop as you were saying and reach out to your connections. Let me ask you about some partnerships now. You probably have a lot more brand partnerships than you did starting out.
Yes.
And you have some exciting things that you've posted recently, one being about the FIFA World Cup. So tell us quickly about that.
So this is a really exciting partnership for me because when we came to North Carolina, when my family immigrated to North Carolina in the 90s, there wasn't anybody speaking English or Spanish. I showed up to my elementary school not knowing any English.
Really? And you're from El Salvador, you said?
Salvador.
Okay.
So we came post the Civil War or during the Civil War in El Salvador.
Right.
My dad was actually a mayor in San Miguel, going back to our politics chat.
Yes.
We had to leave, obviously, because it just wasn't safe. He started to be more vocal about, and people, it just was dangerous. People were being taken from their homes. And so he made the decision to bring us here. We applied for asylum, and he went to LA initially. That's where I feel like most Latin immigrants go to LA. And he just felt like it wasn't exactly the best where he wanted to raise a family. And so he made the decision. We had a family member that had moved to North Carolina, and they said, you might like this place, Chapel Hill, Carborough area. You might like this place better. And he came and
he said yes.
And he brought us. And so as a result, we don't know English. And obviously there's no there's Latin markets here. There's Latino grocery stores now.
But no exposure back then.
Nothing.
Right.
And so my dad started hosting these pickup soccer games
Wow.
in Chapel Hill. And they kind of grew. It turned into that they would host a combined soccer tournament during a Latino festival called La Fiesta del Pueblo back then.
Okay.
And it just was like a street fest. They had, people would get together and they would have, dancing, music, just kind of exposing the greater Chapel Hill, Carborough area to Latin culture. And you could also watch soccer.
Right. And that's always such a big binding sort of community force. Soccer has always been a big part of the culture.
He would have some of the students from Carolina come and do pickup games. And so this partnership with FIFA kind of feels full circle because we spent so much of obviously my dad was working really hard, not in what he studied, right? Most immigrant parents come and, you're doing work that people don't want to do, right? And sorry, it makes me sad.
Well, yeah, it's a wonderful sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice for your family.
Yeah.
And I understand. And he worked very hard, and he, I'm sure, is very proud of you.
Yes.
And then when FIFA reached out to you,
it was a dream come true, just to be able to, to partner with U.S. men's soccer to there's a pickup game that's happening ahead of. So if people who aren't familiar with World Cup, they have a lot of friendly games kind of leading up into
the World Cup.
I think it's just they have to play together. Most of these players are playing at on different teams, and so the national teams this is kind of their way of playing together as a team, and they're just friendlies. And Charlotte has become such a football city.
Hotbed, yeah, for sure. And so they chose to have a friendly here in Charlotte, and they want you to go behind the scenes and just film. Now, who is Charlotte playing? Or it's a U.S. team.
U.S. team.
The U.S. team playing
Senegal.
Okay.
And it's 3 weeks before the start of the game. So
what are the dates?
May 31st.
Okay, May 31st, so the end of the month, and people can buy tickets obviously to this game,
you can get tickets, and they're reasonable. I mean, if you can't make it to some of the other, I think it's extremely difficult to see the men's soccer team playing at LA, or I think they're I think they're in the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
It's the other game, maybe.
Right. There are a lot of places, that's taking place.
It's just difficult, I think, to travel for us to see them over there. So I think it's a great way to kind of just expose your kids to.
And congratulations. Yeah. That's such a big deal. That's a wonderful partnership. And you've also had an interesting partnership too with in politics kind of. You've dabbled into a lot of different things, and I'm going to ask the question about where you see your platform going, but tell us a little bit about, you just recently met the governor of North Carolina. And he wanted to ask all content creators, or a select few, I would say, content creators in the city about what's happening in the community and what are some of the issues that are important to all of you. Mm-hmm. So that's wonderful that he reached out.
Yeah. So Governor Josh Shine, his press office reached out and said, we're going to be at the Hornets game. We'd love to host a roundtable and kind of just hear about some of the pain points that are happening with your community. And so I just took that opportunity to ask my audience, specifics, what's going on with you in your lives.
Right. And what are some of the top things that you heard from your audience?
So I have a lot of teachers that are in my audience, and they have gone without a pay raise for years.
Oh, goodness.
And now I think they're actually paying for their health insurance premium, which was previously covered.
Yeah. So we need to take care of our teachers. That's for sure.
And my husband and I are both public school, products.
Yeah, me too.
And so we obviously support our public school. We are choosing to send our kids to public school. It's an important, we just want to support our schools and our school teachers. And I feel like we're making it extremely hard for people to actually choose that profession.
Right. It's true. And we need good people because they're the ones that shape, our kids' minds and help them propel themselves and make more of who they are. Wonderful. So you had that opportunity to talk to Governor Stein about that. And where do you see your platform going? I mean, you've got this wonderful following right now. You're in your space. You're helping a lot of parents, especially moms, with their kids and activating them what to do. But eventually, your kids are going to grow. You're going to grow, and your interests will change. What's in store for you? What's in store for Charlotte Mama?
It's a good question. I struggle with this. Especially with, I mentioned earlier, during the last administration, I was invited to the White House and I declined. My husband and I are really, we have lots of conversations about what exactly we should be saying in terms of just for the safety of our kids, I wonder when they're older if that, I don't know. I don't know how vocal I'll eventually get, but I do see so many issues just from from park feedback, like very simple things like this park needs to be updated.
Right.
This park's bathroom does not work. Very like day-to-day things that I think, obviously those are less controversial, right? Like we need parks and sidewalks to advocating strongly for positions like paying for teachers, like paying, making sure our veterans are taken care of, just different things that I feel passionate about and how much of my platform I want to use for that. Right. And so I do see Charlotte Mama always being kind of a go-to resource for families in Charlotte. That won't change. I just wonder how much of my, I don't know. I can't say how much more I want to dabble in the political side, but I sometimes wonder, and this is kind of a push and pull that I have every day, how much more I should be doing for families, specifically families of, teachers and first responder, people that are they're very important to our communities.
Yeah, they're integral to the community, and how you would like to represent them moving forward. And I think that answer will come. Mm-hmm. That answer will come as you grow and expand, and as your audience is growing too, mm-hmm. and you're growing and your kids' needs have changed. But I just think that what you have right now, this brand that you have right now, is so helpful and so authentic, and really does capture the imagination of a lot of parents who don't necessarily have even young kids, but just want to know what their community is up to. Mm-hmm. And I just think that it's a really great resource in this day and age of social media. And maybe there will be an opportunity for you to sort of leverage this into other forms of media as well.
I think so. We'll see.
Yeah. So we're really excited to see where you go. Now, tell people where exactly they can follow you, how they can follow you, and we'll make sure that, that information gets out there.
Thank you. CharlotteMama.com. There's a whole website with things to do, curated guides, my top picks for parks, places to eat. So I always suggest looking at that first. And Charlotte Mama on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Actually, Facebook is...
It's still a thing.
It's still a thing. People are still getting their information off of Facebook.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's what we grew up with. So I mean, I still have, there was one point, I think it's tipped now, but I still had like more followers on Facebook than Instagram.
Yeah.
And so there is like a cohort of people that still use that for sure.
Only use Facebook.
Yes. Well, definitely check out Charlotte Mama on all of those social media platforms. And for more information of the art and soul of Charlotte, check out our website at southparkmagazine.com. Thanks for listening.